Greetings, and welcome to our video on the Phrygians, an intriguing civilization that thrived in the remarkable region of Anatolia during the Bronze Age. Join us on a journey through time as we delve into the fascinating history and achievements of this remarkable ancient society. The Phrygians are believed to have migrated to central Anatolia around 1200 BC. The migration was part of a larger movement of peoples that took place during this time, known as the Great Migrations. They originated from the Balkan region, where they were part of a group of nomadic people and were known for their skills in metalworking and horsemanship. The Phrygians settled in the region of central Anatolia and established a kingdom with their capital at Gordion. The Phrygians had a unique religion that was centered around the worship of the great mother goddess Cybele, who was also known as the Phrygian Mother. She was a goddess who was associated with fertility, nature, and wild animals. They believed that this powerful deity had the ability to bestow life and take it away. Another important deity in the Phrygian religion was Attis, a god of vegetation and fertility, who was believed to be the lover of Cybele. Attis was said to have been born of a virgin, and was later castrated and killed before being resurrected. His worship involved similar ecstatic rituals to those of Cybele, and his priests also engaged in self-mutilation. The Phrygian religion had a significant influence on the development of the mystery cults of the Roman Empire, particularly those of Cybele and Attis, which were brought to Rome in the 3rd century BCE. The cult of Cybele was officially recognized by the Roman state in 204 BCE, and her temple in Rome, the Magna Mater, became one of the most important religious centers in the city. There was also Agdistis, who had both male and female reproductive organs, and they were closely associated with Cybele. Agdistis's androgyny was seen as a symbol of wild and uncontrollable nature. The other gods perceived them as a threat, leading to their destruction. And just like Zeus for the Greeks, and Odin for the Norsemen, Phrygians had their own sky father, Sabazios. He was known as the Horseman and the Sky Father, and he was a god shared with the Thracians. Though the Greeks interpreted Phrygian Sabazios as both Zeus and Dionysus, representations of him, even into Roman times, show him always on horseback, wielding his characteristic staff of power. They also believed in the soul's immortality and the afterlife, reflecting their reverence for the mysteries of existence. They were known for their rich culture, which blended elements of other neighboring civilizations, such as the Greeks, Hittites, and Lydians. They were famous for their distinctive pottery, which was decorated with geometric patterns and images of animals such as lions and bulls. They were also skilled in metalworking, and produced impressive bronze statues. One of the most well-known aspects of Phrygian culture is the Phrygian cap, a distinctive conical hat with a brim that was worn by the Phrygians and became a symbol of their identity. The cap was made of soft felted wool, and it had a peak that could be turned up or down. The Phrygians were also known for their music, which had a distinctively mournful and melancholy character. The Phrygian mode, a musical scale that was associated with the Phrygians, was characterized by its use of a flattened second note, which gave it a distinctive sound. It included stories of gods and heroes like Midas and Gordius. In Greek mythology, Midas was a king of Phrygia. According to the myth, Midas was granted a wish by the god Dionysus, who was pleased with Midas's hospitality. Midas wished that everything he touched would turn to gold, and his wish was granted. Midas was delighted by his newfound power to turn everything he touched into gold. But it quickly turned into a curse when he realized he could no longer eat or drink without turning food and water into gold. But yet the most heart-wrenching moment came when Midas hugged his daughter, accidentally transforming her into a lifeless golden statue. Desperate to be rid of his power, he begged Dionysus to take it away from him. Dionysus instructed Midas to wash himself in the river Pactolus, to remove the curse, and Midas rushed to do so. When he finally submerged himself into the waters, the gold flowed into the river, giving it its legendary golden sands. After his ordeal, Midas learned the value of moderation and the dangers of greed. The story of Midas has been interpreted in many ways, with various moral lessons drawn from it. Some see it as a cautionary tale about the perils of materialism and greed, while others see it as a warning against the dangers of seeking power without understanding its consequences. That myth also gives us a view on what the neighbors of the Phrygians thought about them. For example, Greek writers, such as Herodotus, praised the Phrygians for their wealth, but also their military prowess. Herodotus described the Phrygians as skilled horsemen and noted that they were the first to introduce the use of the chariot in Asia Minor. Other Greek writers, such as Homer, portrayed the Phrygians as enemies of the Greeks. In Homer's Iliad, the Phrygians fought alongside the Trojans against the Greeks during the Trojan War. Another legend was the one about Gordius, another king of Phrygia, who was the maker of the Gordian knot. According to the legend, an oracle had declared that whoever could untie the knot would become the ruler of Asia. Many tried to untie the knot, but all failed. That was until Alexander the Great arrived in Phrygia in 333 BCE. He was determined to solve the riddle, and after examining the knot, Alexander drew his sword and cut through it, declaring that he had untied the knot. This act became known as the Alexandrian solution, and has come to mean the use of bold and decisive action to solve a difficult problem. Although the legend of the Gordian knot is likely embellished, it has remained a popular symbol of the ancient world, and the phrase "cutting the Gordian knot" is still used today to describe a difficult problem being solved by an unorthodox or bold approach. One of the key factors that made Phrygia so rich and powerful was also the reason of their decline. Phrygia was situated at the crossroads of several important trade routes, and this made it vulnerable to invasion and conquest by neighboring powers. Over the centuries, the kingdom faced political instability, and in combination with economic challenges, it was unable to maintain its military and administrative infrastructure. As a result, it was invaded and occupied by various peoples, including the Persians, Macedonians, and Romans. Finally, the spread of Christianity displaced the traditional polytheistic beliefs of the Phrygians, leading to a decline in their cultural identity and unity. Despite their decline, the Phrygians left a lasting impact on history. Their religion and mythology influenced the Greeks and Romans and spread throughout the Mediterranean world. The music mode known as Phrygian mode was named after them and is still used in modern music today. To sum up, the Phrygians were an ancient civilization with a rich culture and unique religion that influenced later civilizations. Although their civilization declined, their legacy lives on, and they will always be remembered as an important part of human history. As always, thank you for watching, and see you on the next one. Goodbye.